What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about Social Security. I know there's a lot of other stuff that's going on right now, but we need to continue to focus on Social Security. I know we have some banks that have collapsed, and I've put out a couple of videos talking about that. I will continue to follow that story, but when it comes to Social Security, we also need to continue to follow this story. And so Senator Kennedy, Sunday, he was interviewed, and I want to play this clip because I think this is more information. So we're starting to get more information when it comes to how certain politicians want to move when it comes to Social Security and Social Security reform, Social Security increase. And so that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so before I get started with the video, please, I've had some people in the comments lately, they've been letting me know that they're not getting notifications again. So if that is the situation where you're not getting notified when I post videos every day. So if you're not getting a notification every day that I post a video, then you need to do a few different things. Look to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. Click the little bell notification and then click all. That way you'll get that notification, or you should be getting that notification. On your phone, if you have your phone set to, let's say if you get notifications on your phone, if you have your phone set on YouTube, the YouTube app, so you don't want to get notifications, then you're not going to get notified when I post a video. Okay, so that's another thing if you want to check your phone. And so other than that, you should be getting notified. And if you aren't, if you've done all those things and you're still not getting notification, let me know in the comment section below. I'm trying to work with YouTube so they'll at least address this problem. It's not just my channel. There are a lot of channels out there that are going through similar situation where the people just stop getting notifications, and for whatever reason, I don't know why that's happening. And so please, if you have that problem, if you're still having that problem, just let us know in the comments below. Also, the code, I'm still trying to catch up. I've been catching up. Every once in a while I'll catch up and I'll reply to comments. But just understand at the very end of this video, you'll see a code and then whatever name, number. Usually what I'm trying to do is something that I say in the video, I'm putting that as the code. And what that means is if you post a comment and you put code and whatever I put as the code, then I will definitely look at the message and I will reply to those messages. Okay, so let's go ahead and get over to our video. Here we go.
Meantime, entitlements are getting a lot of attention. Republicans have repeatedly said they're not going to cut them. The White House has repeatedly said you need to be afraid if you're getting these benefits. Here is what GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley said this week.
We have to be realistic. It is unrealistic to say you're not going to touch entitlements.
Okay. They say Democrats are actually making proposals about these entitlements, but they say this: if Republicans continue to stubbornly insist that Social Security and Medicare shouldn't be touched, the inevitable result will be not only that Democrats win the political debate, but that all such reforms will mostly mean higher taxes. So listen, trustees of these programs tell us 10 to 15 years, they'll be insolvent. Nikki Haley's out there saying you got to talk about it, but Republicans are, chastised every time you do. Should you be having a public conversation about those things?
Well, I think you ought to get the Social Security that you paid for, and I think you ought to get the Medicare that you paid for. Now, Medicare is going to start getting in trouble financially in 2028. Social Security in 2035, I think. We should be talking now how to make sure that those programs are solvent. The problem is that President Biden, in his State of the Union address, decided to demagogue the issue. We all saw it. He basically said, if you speaking to Republicans, if you talk about Social Security or Medicare, I'm going to call you a mean, bad person. And that just took the issue off the table when the president decided to demagogue it. It was, you can only be young once, but you can always be immature. And I thought it was a very immature thing to do.
So you think there need to be conversations then about something, whether it's changing the age for people who are not yet paying into these benefits, future changes, current changes?
Well, of course we ought to talk about it. I mean, the life expectancy of the average American right now is about 77 years old. For people who are in their 20s, their life expectancy will probably be 85 to 90. Does it really make sense to allow someone who's in their 20s today to retire at 62? Those are the kind of things that we should talk about. There are changes in Medicare we should talk about. Let me say it again. Medicare pays much more for the same surgical procedure in a hospital as it does in a private outpatient clinic. Why? There are a lot of things we could talk about, but President Biden has taken that issue totally off the table. He says he has fixed it in his budget, and that's nonsense. That's nonsense on a stick.
It looks like that's going to be done through increased taxes, which I know Republicans are thumbs down on that. I want to ask you about the border quickly.
But it still leaves a shortfall. It still leaves $11 trillion shortfall. So when the president says I fixed the problem, with all due respect, he's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. I do want to talk a little bit more about Social Security and Medicare. So you heard what he said there, especially at the very end when he was talking about when it comes to a 20-year-old retiring at 62. Now, first off, let's think about this. Let's think about exactly what he's saying here. So he's saying, let's say you're 20 years old, or let's round it up. Let's say you're 22 years old. You're working right now. You're paying into the Medicare system. You're paying into Social Security, and you're going to have to work 40 years before, at the present time, you work 40 years, and then you'll be eligible for retirement. Now, at 62, you're not getting your full retirement. So you're going to be taking a cut anyway. But what he is saying, and this is the first politician that I've heard say this, is maybe we should think about raising that age, that 62, raising that up higher because the life expectancy will be longer. So now this can affect people. It could be people who want to retire in 10 years and they're thinking, I can retire at 62 because I have enough saved up in my 401ks and my other retirement plans. And so I'll just need a little bit from Social Security in order to be comfortable. But now you have a politician that's talking about not only raising the full retirement age to 70, which he didn't say it on here, but he's probably in favor of that if he's in favor of raising the minimum retirement age of 62 to, we don't even know, maybe 64 or 65. And so now you're setting people back. You're setting people back that are in a position maybe to retire in 10 years. They're not going to be able to retire because we're going to gradually move this minimum retirement age from 62 up to something else. Now, he did say people who are 20 years old. He didn't say people who are 50 years old now. But if you're starting to talk like that, at some point it needs to be graduated. And when is that graduation going to start? And so are you going to say 40 years out? Okay, 40 years out, that's when we're going to start the graduating? I don't think so. I think the graduation is going to be much more, it'll be steeper. So it is going to start affecting people maybe in their 30s or 40s and could potentially be in their 50s. And so we'll have to see where it goes when it comes to this. But this is just another politician talking about cuts to Social Security, because that would be a cut. If you're raising the age from 62 up to something else, that is a cut because you can receive Social Security for a shorter period of time. Even if it's the minimum retirement, you're still going to take a cut. And so they're finding a lot of different ways to be creative and, we need to address this or we need to do that. But they're all cuts. They're all cuts. And so we're going to have to see if these politicians can come together in the next couple of months to try to figure out something when it comes to Social Security. First, they need to focus on the debt ceiling. They need to raise the debt ceiling. With all the other stuff that's going on right now, maybe that will take priority and they'll realize, hey, let's raise the debt ceiling because we have banks that are collapsing and we have a lot of different things that are going on. Inflation is still very high. And so we'll have to see what they do in the future when it comes to that. The CPI score will be coming out tomorrow. So I'll be putting out a video tomorrow talking about the CPI score and how that affects the average person, the average retiree. So make sure you tune in for that. If you guys have any other questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.